Okay, welcome to another video and another day in the garage. So today we're going to get another bit done on the Z3, which is buried in there. So I'm going to do a bit of clearing and also going to do my quick service on my girlfriend's TT here first. So going to do a bit of clearing and let's get to doing a bit of colour on the Z3 today. So moving on a bit with the prep work. What you're looking at now, I've got the side sills with a layer. You can just see the texture in it. The textured coat put on the top, just with the sheet gun there. And also this grey is 2-pack primer. So basically all the rough edges are gone. All the grind marks, and that's what it actually comes like that, as you've seen at the start from the factory. So that's a protection against stones bumping off it, and also all the edges have been done. So that's the side skirts. We'll give them a quick rub down once they've dried with wet and dry just around these parts, and that's the side skirts ready. The boot lid is in the booth. It's the wee repairs have been primed in it, so we'll come back to it. So I'm gonna push to get this car all in, and probably get the bits in first and then the car in second, as I've said a few times. So we'll crack on with it. Okay, so quick update on the Z3. Lots going on. It's taken a week here to get this finished. So this is sort of, you're in between some videos. So the boot lid had a wee small repair here and a wee small repair here, so I've primed that. That's getting ready. We've also nipped in a wee bit of stopper, 2-pack stopper, just to be chipped there. At the minute I'm actually working on taking the mirror covers off. One of the mirrors got broken, so I'm actually splitting these mirror covers off, which is, these mirrors actually fail. I'm going to show you where they fail, which is here. They actually crack whenever you turn them around, rotate them. So the body of that one's broken. So I have another one there, and it's a matter of taking the glass out of the front, taking 4 wee screws out of here, and then the mirror cover splits apart. So they're actually in good condition, but the fact that I'm painting all the car, I'm going to paint them together, and it means I'll have a spare set as well. These panels I've removed again, and what I'm going to do is actually paint these blue. Set it loads of times to get them blue, and the boot lid is going to go on, or tailgate boot lid, yes. Boot lid's going to go on, so these panels are going into the paint booth here. Interior trim, I've taken interior trim apart. This was vinyled. Somebody previously done this, and basically it's very poor. So I'm going to actually take that to it's basically just vinyl stretched over, but I could do it if I had more vinyl, but by the time I go and get the vinyl off the guy, he could just do it for me. It just needs stretched over. It was nearly there, it's just cut too fine, and you can see there wasn't enough to overlap there, so it had been in the car like that, and that's just it's no good. I want to fix it when it's out. So I'm also going to take you into the paint booth here, so put you on pause. So in the paint booth, and what I've done with the headlights is I've flattened them down with some different grades of sandpaper, and as you can see, the headlights had been covered, and previous people had put stuff over them and tried to lacquer them with aerosol cans. You can't do that. So what I've done is scotch brighted it down, sanded it down, and then a coat of 2-pack lacquer over it. So there is a few imperfections. You'll not see them here. There's a bit of a shadow here, but these lenses have actually been taken off, and the yellow taken off the indicators. So this is just to tidy it up for now, and I'll keep an eye out for a couple of new lenses or whatever, just to replace them. But as you can see, it makes a big difference. And they're just in now in the heat, just baking here with that bumper was painted off a different car. So I'm going to wait till that's done, and then we'll get the panels in. I'll do the blue on them, and then we'll video that. Right into the booth, and I have these panels in. So literally all I'm going to do is just a bit of colour around the edges here, around the backs, and then these, like I say, these are going to be fitted. So I'll take a wee bit of a video, but not much to see. It's only going to be just the basic colour, the base going on. So make a start to it here now. mask off. So that's one coat just to dust it on. That's pretty much the way these panels come. And that's part of the problem why they're rusting around the back, because there's very little covering on them. But I'm going to go ahead and cover these here a good few times now. I'm not going to video it. Cover them up, and then I'll put some wax rust killer in behind it whenever I'm putting the panels on, just to protect it, because as you can see there's nothing on the back of these panels. But I'm going to change that, because obviously we'll do it this time. I don't want to be coming back to do it again in the future. So I'll go ahead with this here and cut back in later on, and you can see the panels. We'll get them mounted onto the car. So a bit of an interruption from the garage. I'm actually out trying to get the trims. I took off the door panels. As you can see, were finished very poorly. They weren't overlapped. So I'm down at a local material shop actually getting some trim. I'm going to do it in this, it's almost looks like the factory the way it was finished. So it's slightly different colour of blue, only slight, but I think as you can see that it looks really good. So I'm going to pop this up to a local trim guy who's done some work on my boat seats and things before, and he's going to have these finished. So I'll show you. That's basically the way they came, and I'll show you the way they're finished, hopefully in the next couple of minutes actually on video land. So just literally while I'm waiting on paint around, I'm going to have a wee look at this engine bay. So as you can see, I started tidying it up a bit. Just going to go through and actually see how much is just dirt and how much I need to actually repair, particularly a bit down there is a wee bit sort of rusty. So I'm going to just do a wee bit of a detailing session here and see the likes of that bit there. We'll see how tidy we can make the engine bay as well. And I know particularly around this pipe, the power steering pipe, a wee bit rusty, so I'm going to do a wee bit of that as well. Right, amazing things have happened. I've managed to get a slot in the paint booth. As you can see, outside is just chaos. So I'm going to go ahead, get these all parts all set up as I want them. I'm going to do, like I said here, the two bumpers, two bumpers, two side skirts, let that compressor blow off, and also I have two mirror covers to do, and excuse the mess, these two panels here, I'm actually going to get a bit of blue around the sides like I did last night with the other quarter panels, and that's going to allow me to get them bolted onto the car for the colour. I've been tidying up the engine bay, and obviously you can see these quarter panels now back on the car, and I've done the blue around the insides, the tailgate back on, so that's the way the car is going to be painted, so the metallics all fall properly. So the two bumpers, because they're at an angle, they don't really matter as much in the two side skirts. So yeah, let's get on with it and I'll show you a bit of the process. Right, so very quickly set up. I'm going to do these panels, like I said to you, the VA panels, the front, we're going to get the blue on these, get the two side skirts, the mirror covers. There was nothing actually really wrong with that mirror, just a few wee tiny chips, but there's no point in not doing it properly now when we're here. So two mirror covers. I'm only doing the outsides of the covers, not the inside parts. The sills and the bumpers here, which I'm going to set up a wee bit better here in a minute, just at a better angle. So I'm going to set the camera up over in the corner, and it'll get a bit off the painting process, and then I'll show you what it's like whenever it's finished. Okay, so joining me in the paint booth, and all I'm doing is just giving the panels a degrease, a quick rub down with a tacky rag, and then I'm in mixing the paint. So mask on, bit of a clean down, bit of a blow down with the airline, and straight into the blue then, the base coat. So covering the wee panels, and then 2 coats of base coat all over everything, and then 1 drop coat, which is just like a dust coat at the end, just to spread the metallics on the paint properly. Okay, really quickly, just as you can see, blue down the side of the panels. I've got the base coat on the sills, on the mirrors, mirror covers, on the bumpers, and it's still flashing off. You can see it's still a wee bit shiny in places, so I'm going to let that settle for a minute, and then I'm going to give it another wee dust coat and then a drop coat over the top just to get the metallics evened out on it. But as you can see, even now it's starting to look very well. No marks, no scrapes, and everything covering. So I'm not going to lapse this bit, I'll just go ahead with that, and then we'll lapse the lacquer and perhaps, or I'll definitely show you then what it looks like after that. Right, so finished product. I'm going to show you really quickly because I want to get it on the bake. But as you can see, it turned out very well. Then the side skirts, side sills, and the mirror covers. Obviously that's just shiny because it's got the textured finish on it, but that's the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's it for part one of the painting, and the second part we will be doing the car, in which my friend's going to actually help me, so I'm going to video him doing it at the same time he's going to throw the paint on. So we'll come back to that. Hi everybody! Right, welcome to the paint booth. As you can see, we are rushing to get this job done. I've got a slot, so working through masking the car, got it pushed in, and going to go with the, as you can see, I'll show you in a wee minute, but we're going to do all the panels tonight. We've already done the bumpers, which you'll have seen in the video, so it's going to be a wee bit rushed. I'm going to film this. My friend Jim's coming up to help, and he's going to do the painting, and I'm actually going to follow him around and show you all the different coats and different stages. So I'll talk you through the paint job. Right, so I'm going to take you around real quick. Basically, this is where we're at. So everything's done. Just working around taping it up. We'll spray the wings, like I say, spray the bonnet, and as you can see the bumper's already done, so that'll all be taped off. And likewise down this panel. So pretty much you're just going to see me in the background doing a bit of taping there. That doesn't make very good video. And as you can see, the Legends of Jim has arrived as well. Trying to get that sorted. So we'll crack on a wee bit with this and then break back in whenever we're getting ready to clean it down. Panel wipe, but it's basically what you've seen us doing before. Panel wipe the panels down and a bit of a tacky down, and then we'll get some heat on, get some paint mixed. So final mask, some papers around the wheels, etc. And then it's moving on to paint. Sorry about the camera angle, didn't realise it was out of focus, but you get the idea. Right, so the taping is done. Papers everywhere. Jim's getting into his suit. I'm going to follow suit in a wee sec and get into that one as well. Panels all ready. So next step's going to be blowing it down, panel wipe, and then a tacky rag. And as you can see, it's going to be very easy to get around this car, and all the panels hung. Far neater job, and we'll basically just do it in a circle. So the paint should be mixed, got it ready to go. So bring you back in. It's going to be difficult with a mask on, but you get the general gist of what's going on. So, action time. Yeah, so first step is degreaser. Spray on panel wipe. I'm going to spray this over all the panels. Take any contaminants, any waxes, any silicone and dust. And and every panel has to get that. So I'm going to work around the vehicle into all the corners and edges, and then we'll go around with what's called a tacky rag, which I'll show you shortly. So I'll break it there. Right, all clean. So the next step is tacky rag. This is slightly adhesive, excuse my thumb by the way, hit my hammer. This is slightly adhesive cloth just for absorbing any last wee bits of dust and dirt. So we'll work around the whole car with that now. Okay, here we go. So this is the second coat now going on around the panels. You can see it's already starting to cover all the primer. So this is us on our third round around the car. As you can see, the blue is starting to lay down. You can still see the patchy there with the primer, but you'll see that start to disappear the more coats go on. Right, so you can just see Jim's just finishing off the last coat round. So we're going to let that sit in the heat for a minute. Then he's going to start doing what's called drop coat. It's going to be more like a dust instead of a wet coat. and that's going to spread the metallics out. The metallics are going to fall on the car then. It means you'll have no blotchiness or any sparkly bits built up. It'll all be nice and even. Okay, progress report. We're doing well. Still going. Jim's doing all our code in there. Actually ran into a bit of a problem on the edge of the boot lid where one of the primers was. The edge was, sorry, and it started to react. It starts to go like a cracked ice effect. So pretty simple, just a wee bit of water, a wee bit of 800 sandpaper, flattened it down, and then base coat over it again. So we'll let this dry for probably 15-20 minutes or so, and then I'm going to get the heat on and we'll start mixing up some clear lacquer. So all good so far. Okay, so it has been about an hour or so. I've dropped in out with the different bits of video, and this is just the final drop coat drying now. So you can see it's starting to actually dry a real satin matte finish, which actually looks pretty cool. In my opinion, in some cars, obviously BMW do that as a finish. Just it's not as maintenance friendly washing wise, and if you ever need to polish it, you can't do it, you know. So you can actually put a matte lacquer on, and you can leave it that sort of finish. So it is an option for people, and I just want it back to the way it was. So we're going to let this dry for sort of 10 or 15 minutes. You can just see in the angle it's still a wee bit shiny. It'll dull right down to like that door there, but as you can see, every panel is perfect. No dents, no scrapes. Even the vents look good with the blue on them. I was actually debating whether to leave them black or to do them blue, but we're going to leave them blue. And they have a nice new badge, as you'll see. But as you can see, all the repairs totally covered. And the doors totally straight, no dents, no marks. So let this dry for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then probably 2 coats, well maybe we'll see how it goes on, maybe 3 of lacquer. We've got a bit of extra lacquer there, and that's where I was actually talking about here earlier on. There was lines here and a line over here at the edge. So there was 2 primer repairs roughly here and here. And what happened was when we were trying to get the coverage just with the thinners, the 2-pack thinners and the paint started to eat into the edge of the primer, which means you can see the line. So as you can see now, totally gone and sorted. So we'll come back and I'll start filming the lacquer stages, and then obviously we'll see the finished product. So as you can see, nice and flat, nice and dry. We've actually switched the heat off again because with the lacquer it can dry too quick. So Jim is just getting organised. This is going to get very cloudy in here with the lacquer, so I'll just show you briefly and then we'll come back to the finished article. So this is a 3/4 coat roughly. Just getting that on, and then that'll allow it to grip to the surface. And then when he puts the wet coat on over the top, but as you can see, the shine already. So yeah, that's us. 1 coat on. You can see a couple of wee patches, but that's just because the patch it isn't put on, like I say, a full flow coat yet. So we'll let this sit for about 10 minutes or so, and then you'll really see the shine going on. Okay, so welcome to the finished result. We've Everything went on really, really nice. As you can see, the knee repairs disappeared. And I'm not speaking too much because I think the results speak for themselves. I say no dents, no lines, no marks. There's a couple of wee specks. You always get wee specks of, you can't even really see them here, just in the light. You always get a wee speck of dust, no matter how hard you try, in the lacquer. So next that'll be colour sanded down and polished out. That's just standard procedure with any paint job anyway, so it'll just leave it absolutely like glass. Not that it already isn't. So I'm not going to hang about too long. I want to get some heat on. I'm not going to hang about too long in here. I'll come back to you and we'll have a look at it whenever it's been sitting in overnight and it's all cured.